How's it going, guys? It's T-Guy Ty here. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about Hildryn. She's definitely a really strong warframe. Very, very tanky. Look at how many shields she has. She's also one of the rare warframes that doesn't really need energy. So, that's pretty cool. Never even need to pick it up. But despite not needing energy, she's also a pretty decent support when it comes to energy. I'll go ahead and show that off real quick. Why does that say 19? We'll fix that. There we go. So anyways, this is what I mean. Your fourth ability, even on Eximus units, can still siphon energy. I think that's pretty cool. And anyways, the build that I made today solely focuses on the synergy between her first and her fourth with the new augment Aegis Gale. Basically, just gives your first ability an alternate fire. It's like a burst, and it's an AoE weapon. So it costs shields to use, and has a really big AoE. I mean, these are level 180s, and they were gone pretty fast. And the mobility is not the best now that we have warframes like Jade that can fly around, and Titania is definitely way better with mobility. But let's say you're in a defense, like a defense fissure, you can just spin a circle. It's basically like having a nuke. So, yeah, well, I'll just go into that one more time. It's so strong. Like, look at this. Gone. Strong stuff. We'll go ahead and take a peek at the build. So, in terms of Archon shards, I just went with blast kills giving shields, and then I modded my Balefire charger for blast. It has innate electricity, so I just went with, so I had to mod like pure blast. Um, this was not a cheap build. It took 7 forma, and I needed every single one of them. As you can see, I have 0 capacity. Every single slot has a forma on it. Also, I found that a really good arcane. I mean, look at this. It's 5% critical chance and 10% status chance. That's like really low crit and status. But I figured to go full in on a crit build. So I went with secondary enervate and the prime target cracker. Prime fulmination is really good on this. It scales with this mod and it also scales with ability range. So, I mean, once I noticed that, I was like, holy poop, big AoE. Let's do it. And I have plenty of builds. It's really just replacing the damage mod. You could either replace this one because it gives less damage, but it also like spreads out your AoEs a little bit with a negative accuracy, or you can just replace your pure damage mod. Um, it's like it's just a preference. If I were to replace one, I would replace this one just because I like the spread. But yeah, you can do the Bane mods, Expel mods, whatever you want to call them. I only have Orican and Grenier. If I had other ones, I don't think I would even use them just because these guys are so high in armor. I feel like it would be worth modding for these guys, but literally anybody else, you can just go with a damage mod and it should be fine. That's to say if you're using it for pure damage, but if you're going with things like the Heat and Herod stuff, then you kind of need those Bane mods. And we'll look at the actual Hildryn build. I went all in on range and efficiency. I'm pretty sure this is the highest efficiency you can get. And also, do I have? No, I don't. I thought I put a Omniform on. But I'm pretty sure with this build I can fit cutting drift right here. So yeah, I can go full in on the range. But I do like the comfiness of having Prime Sure-Footed. Bam. But I did go negative in the strength. That does not affect it very much because if we look at this right here, you can see that there's actually it doesn't pop up here. Well, I guess if you weren't in the simulacrum, you could press a button and it would show you the augment for this ability. And oh wait, actually it does show the details at least. At the bottom you can see it says Aegis Gale. That is the alt fire for your first ability. And so although the strength of 40% is affecting the regular fire of Balefire, the alt fire is being affected by Precision Intensify. So, since you're just going to be spamming your alt fire anyways, negative strength doesn't hurt very much. Also, negative duration is good for Hildryn. Not exactly good if you want to go with a helmet setup. I was trying helmet setups, like I was trying to use like electricity for like the shield capacity, and then I was gonna try to like boost my status chance a bit. But that didn't work out because negative duration isn't fun on helmet abilities and stuff. But without helmet, I mean it's still really strong, and 3 of her 4 abilities are all channeled, so duration doesn't really hurt that much. And the only ability that isn't channeled actually benefits pretty well from negative duration. The reason why I say that is because, I mean, let me just give a demonstration. So your second ability spreads out, and it keeps spreading out depending on your duration. So it's similar to like Nova's fourth ability, it just keeps spreading until it runs out of duration. So what you would usually have to do is click it and then click it a second time for it to come back that fast. But since we have negative duration, whenever I want shields, all I have to do is cast it once, and I already have shields. So since all my abilities cost shields, negative duration helps a lot. I'm just gonna kill these guys one more time because it's fun. I mean, wow. And the reason why I made this build in the first place was because yesterday I was doing fissure missions and I was trying to nuke with Sevagoth. Sevagoth is a very good nuke, by the way. I will make a video on him. But when I saw somebody playing Hildryn and they were just like flying in the center of like, I think it was a Hydron fissure. They were just flying in the center of the map, just doing a sit and spin technique. Just basically just this. And everything was dying. That's pretty nuts. So I just made a build of my own. And I like it a lot. And I see why they did it. And there's not many Warframes that you see with the playstyle of sit and spin. Like the only person that I've seen is Mesa. So it's pretty crazy. And that's all I really have to talk about. So is there anything else I should talk about? You know what? There is. So I haven't made the setup yet. But I do know that your fourth ability movement speed scales with, well, movement speed. As you can see with this weapon I have right here, the Praetos, if we go into the Incarnon, we can see that the Incarnon boost doesn't really give any speed, but the weapon itself, as long as I equip it, it gives like sprint speed, slide speed, it gives parkour velocity. All of those are really good buffs, and it's the reason why I bring it into almost every single like Warframe loadout that I just bounce around. But Hildryn doesn't really bounce around. So this is good to getting you where you want to go and then casting your fourth ability. But like I said, I haven't actually made an optimal setup for this yet. But it's so good that I definitely will. This Okina Prime with the Incarnon, yep, as you can see right all the way at the very bottom, it gives plus movement speed. And movement speed, there aren't many mods that you can. I don't think there's any mods in the game that just give plus movement speed. There's a lot of sprint speeds and stuff, but sprint speed doesn't affect your fourth ability movement. The only thing that affects your movement speed is actual movement speed. It's two different things. So, once I get this Incarnon up and running, I will definitely equip it on this build, and I'll be flying around a little bit faster. Because as you can see with what I have right now, I mean, this is as fast as I can go. I can dash, but I mean, having that little boost of movement speed will definitely help. And now I'm pretty sure that's all I really have to talk about. Um, Actually, you know what? There's one more thing, and it's my arcanes. Arcane velocity, really good on this build because I mean, as you can see, the alt fire is let's go ahead and get it up and running. That's pretty slow. But with arcane velocity, pretty much as soon as I get a crit, now it's fast. Done. Done. Really good bursts. So yeah, arcane velocity is really good. And this is one of those warframes, once again, doesn't require energy, so you don't need arcane energize. So yeah, you're kind of free to pick your arcanes. And the two arcanes that I picked was arcane velocity to just boost my fire rate, which helps a lot, and also molt augmented. Molt augmented, once I get 250 kills, which is not very hard on a setup like this, it's really big AoEs. AoE weapons go through walls, and I mean, oof, that's really strong. Once you get up to 250 kills in like a fissure defense or something like that, that is literally going to take less than 5 minutes. Um, you're back up to, I'm pretty sure this gives 60% strength, so you're right back up to 100%. So you're not even negative anymore if you're doing an endurance mission. And the reason why I went with the stats that I did, Mega Range was obviously for the AoE, and then Mega Efficiency, which I don't do very often, but I do think it's really good on this setup. Your ability casts cost shields, and once you run out of shields, then you can't really use your fourth ability anymore. Like your first ability to actually like have the weapon equipped, and your fourth ability in order to use the alt fire. As you can see, it costs shields to do this stuff. And on most missions, that's not a problem. But sometimes, like let's say the infested, that does suck because then you will eventually run out of shields and you cannot siphon them with the second ability if there are no shields to actually siphon. And I believe you can siphon armor and turn it into shields as well. So, I mean, like, pretty much everybody but infested, it works out fairly well. But even in an infested mission, I can still get to use my weapons for a while because of just how much efficiency I have. And also because these Archon shards, whenever I get blast kills, then I regenerate shields. So that helps a lot. And, I just went with casting speed and parkour velocity just to help me move around, and also casting is just a little bit shorter. Boom. By the time I'm done casting, I already get my shields. And, yeah, that's all I really have to talk about. So we can just go ahead and jump straight into some gameplay. So the first time that I saw somebody like using this type of build was in a defense fissure. And I'm pretty sure the reason why they were doing it was because you can get a buff after collecting 10 reactant, where it boosts your ability strength and ability range. And I think that is a really good buff on something that can affect an AoE weapon. So we're going to try to do that. Oh, you know what? I forgot to switch my melee weapon. That's fine. I'm not even going to use it anyways. But just to show a setup. Also, I'm not in Steel Path. Apologies. There was no Steel Path defense mission up at the time of me recording this. But, I mean, realistically, they're going to die, like, almost as fast anyways. But it's simple. Like, look at this. All you really gotta do is spin in a circle. Whenever I want shields, I just click my second ability. Oh, there was no way close enough. Is it working? Yeah, there we go. It's working. There we go. It's just spinning in a circle. I mean, it's that easy. Oh, I don't have my pet equipped.
You are going to need more reactant if you want to open that relic.
Boom. Just a tip, if you want to run fissure missions, definitely equip that mod called Resourceful Retriever on your pet. Really good for just collecting void traces to upgrade relics. Anyways, look at that. Basically, entire wave gone in like 4 shots. Oh my god, they actually keep spawning. I take that back. But yeah, this is just crazy. It's like, it's playing on easy mode. AoE weapons were so strong that they got nerfed, and it reduced their magazine. No, not magazine. It reduced their ammo pool by a lot, so you couldn't spam. But they can't really nerf the ammo pool on something that costs shields, and this warp frame happens to have like the most shields in the game. Just theory crafting with this setup, a really, really broken setup would be like 3 of these warframes in a fissure mission, and then maybe like a Styanax. Because Styanax's third ability is like a really good buff. Whenever you get kills, you get shields. So it's like you don't even... It's basically like an even better form of those Archon shards I equipped. And it also, you know, it also gives energy, but what's that going to do with the Hildryn? But yeah, mission's pretty much over. Oh, it didn't end because I'm being hunted. But I haven't casted my ability this whole, or my shield regen ability this whole wave. No, I just did. And all those guys are dead in 1 shot.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can
But yeah, good stuff.
the enemy.
And that's pretty much everything that I really wanted to talk about. That's very nice. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. And I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.